Um, Kind of a funny game to me. I have so much respect for Eric and Michael Curry. I feel like Michael's one of us with his son having played here and everything. And his team is very good defensively, and I thought they did some good things. I thought we did some real good things and some real average things. I don't know what I'd grade us. When you get 25 assists and 30 baskets, that's unbelievable. Shoot 60% from the line after all the work we put in all summer. That's unbelievable. I thought we rebounded pretty well. And yet I thought we were missing a sense of urgency. So I was a little disappointed. Denzel had some big numbers, but just okay. And they tell me Deontay Davis is only the third freshman to get a double-double in his first game. And one of them was Matt, our radio guy, and the other one was Nick's. Just trying to figure out what he got the double-double in. Donuts and rebounds or what it was. But I guess Nixer had one in his first game. So it's quite a feat for Deontay. He actually did a lot of good things. I mean, he's still a little weak. I thought their big guy, Tremaine, was good. He hurt us a little bit. And that doesn't bode well for us in the future. Being without Schilling, I think, had an effect. But the way Deontay played today, at least he showed some fire, like DJ kept saying to him on a bench, why don't you do this in practice, And so I think it was a lesson for our guys. I thought we got enough work that we know we're nowhere near where we're going to be, and yet I think there were enough bright spots that at times I think we showed where we could be pretty good. So other than that, I'll take questions.
Tom, a year ago, you guys went at Navy by 5. Can you kind of compare and contrast how you felt these two nights? I mean, you guys, I know it's Florida Atlantic's the first night, but you guys look easier to watch, smoother, more fluid. Is that all?
Well, I think part of it is, I think it helped this summer a little bit, to be honest with you. I think, the freshmen were playing, other than Deontay, last year we were playing those freshmen. Elvin got hurt the first play. We didn't have Bryn. We just had no experience out there, and I think that hurt us a little bit. But it definitely was smoother, and there were times I thought we moved the ball pretty well, and we got it inside, we got it outside. We're still not the negative of playing so many guys in the 2 preseason games is I don't think guys know how to play together yet. We don't know who's where and why and when, and the ball goes in and it didn't come out enough, and earlier on it didn't go in enough. So we're just trying to find each other, find ourselves a little bit, and it's going to definitely take some time. Unfortunately, we're right into the fire against a team that's very veteran with 4 starters back and probably as good an inside game and the way they play. This will be a huge test for Deontay and Matt and see what 4-man we can get to play a little bit maybe better. So it's going to be a test.
Any chance Schilling plays Tuesday?
Doesn't look like it. I think we'll know more. I think Sunday they get another MRI, but it's not broke. They know that. It's one of those turf toes. Most of you guys that follow football, that's where it's more common, and it can be a painful and an injury that drags on. But the good news is it wasn't right at the toe. It was down a little farther, which they say gives us a better chance once it settles down. Does it settle down tonight, tomorrow, the next night? I don't know. So, I'd say it's 50-50 at best, maybe worse than that. But I don't know. One thing I realized over these last couple of years, I'm not a doctor.
Tom, you mentioned it briefly, 25 assists on 30 passes. Can you talk on 30 field goals? Can you talk a bit more about the ball movement?
Well, we sat on a bench and we didn't think we were moving it enough, but we did get some penetration and kicks and for some shots. But I thought there was too much dribbling for what we're trying to do this year. And yet at the end, there was a drive and a kick or a drive and a dump off. And I thought that part was really good. And, we had some guys that finished, made some shots. we didn't shoot it great. You know, I said this would be our best three-point shooting team, and I thought we'd shoot 85% from the line as hard as we worked on it all summer. Those were the only two negatives with the night, but I guess that's going to happen sometime. So I was proud when you get 25 assists on 30 baskets. It's hard to complain about that, even for me.
Tom, you mentioned Deontay a little bit, and that you wanted to see more effort out of him. How would you? I mean, just going
must
against
have been 3 huddles, and DJ said to him, you know, Deontay, instead of patting you on the back, I'm mad at you because why don't you practice this way, you know? But that's part of the learning process too. I mean, I was really pleased with Deontay. I think he went harder. He played against a physical guy who was pretty good. His quickness to the ball, I thought, was off the charts. You know, he'd miss a shot and he'd be there for the tip-in. And, you know, his upper body strength cost him a couple times. You know, a guy like him should be dunking some of those that he just rolled up and missed. You know, it cost Zell an assist on one. But all in all, the guy did a pretty good job considering he didn't get to play hardly at all in the last game. I like it. Is that Peter? Hopefully it's the Germans calling or something when he was the ambassador, because other than that, they can't be that important in this room.
Tom, when you talk about the play defensively, I know especially the first half they didn't shoot very well. How would you assess the way you guys played overall defensively?
You know, I thought it was decent. We did a great job of containing the dribble penetration early, and then I thought we played the score, and you know that. You can accept that, but I didn't like that my seniors played the score. So that was, be honest about it, that was disappointing. You know, I think a good lesson. You know, I mean, triple doubles are not easy to come by. I don't know if somebody knows. Matt, how many we got in the history of this school? 3 guys. 12 triple doubles. Irvin got 11 of them, or what? He got 8. You know, I mean, Zell could have started out his senior year with one, and you know, the urgency early is what hurt him. I mean, he had it late, but so I'm going to have my man Draymond call him tonight and tell him the arguments we used to have on a bench when every rebound that went up, he thought I should just let him get him and tell nobody else to rebound, you know. And Zell's got to get a little hungrier on that, if you ask me, if he really wants to do some special things. So. Good to learn that when you can win by 25. It really is.
Tom, you know how much of a bonus it would be if Costello could be a offensive contributor, you know, anything like he was tonight?
Well, I think he can be, you know, if he take the right shots, and he's got that nice jump hook. I mean, the almost 3 off the fast break is being removed from his repertoire. But other than that, I thought, you know, he took shots. He's been shooting the ball better. His jump hook is better. That would be a big help, and that's why. You know, him and Schilling together, because Gavin was getting better offensively, and you had Didi in there, and that's when you could maybe play the 2 bigs together some. Because Didi did a pretty good job defensively today, but we really missed Costello having to guard a quicker 4-man because those other guys struggle to do that as much. But I can see we're down the road, you know, and I think we're going to be in great shape in those 2 positions.
Yeah, at the 4, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Best tonight, and then even Goins and
Goins struggled, I thought, compared to what I've seen. But remember now, the kid hadn't played in 6 weeks. You know, he just started practicing this week, so that's a good reason for him. You know, JB was okay. He was okay. Missed some free throws, but as I told him, you know, in this Twitter generation that we're in, to get my commercial in. It's almost like everybody expects that, you know, that there's a right to be a starter. You know, when you're a sophomore and you're starting, to me, you should be bouncing off the walls. And so that's the only disappointment I had with JB, and I let him know that, and he kind of agreed with me. So he's got to play with an incredible amount of energy because he's not as big or as talented, but he still gets 6 rebounds, 9 points, 2 assists. Played better defensively on those ball screens. was one thing I thought we did a better job of until late. We made some progress. I just was hoping for a little more urgency, but we'll get that.
Tom, what was the conversation like that you had with Eric Snow after the game in the line, and what's it like to see him now become a coach?
I'm proud of Eric. You know, I was proud of him when he was a player here. He was an overachiever. He made himself a player. To think that guy had a 13-year NBA career, whatever he had, is unbelievable. Michael Curry's a good friend. Last time I was with Michael, he flew me to Penn State, and we watched his son play and our Spartans play, and it was he's just an incredible guy. And I told our team that this team will be tough and they'll defend. You know, they were like top 10 in the nation in defensive field goal percentage last year, because those two guys were two of the best defenders in the NBA when they played. And that team's going to get better. He's got another guy sitting out, I think, that's going to be ready. I think that team's going to be all right in that league. But so maybe I'm not giving us enough credit, but I told Eric that tomorrow, hope they come over because they're staying an extra day and use our film room, use our facilities, practice here. His guys want to go to the football game. Love to bring them. See if those wimpy Floridians can handle a little bit of real weather. And so I hope they do. I love Eric, love Michael. I think those guys are all that's right about college basketball, the way they do it.
You mentioned Matt getting involved more offensively. What is his range at this point? What shots are you comfortable with him taking?
I'm comfortable with him taking almost a three if it's not within the fast break, you know. But he's definitely a 15-foot shooter, and he's a good shooter from there. He's worked hard on it. But it's his jump hooks and that, and then when he gets the jump hooks, then he gets to the free throw line. When he gets to the free throw line, he can shoot free throws. It's the one negative still with this team. We're not getting Zell to the line enough. Alvin Ellis got there a little bit, but our guards didn't get to the line enough. And thank God, you know, that Costello did. And I don't know what Didi, I guess he got there twice, so that's not enough either. I didn't think we don't have any balance of inside-outside yet. And it's going to take a little time till we realize how each other plays.
You and Kyle talked about the red shirt and was.
Yeah, you know, we did. We talked about it. Talked with his parents, and it was a real interesting conversation because I kind of was an advocate of redshirting when a kid's not going to play as much. But I forgot he had missed a year and a half of basketball when he was a junior. You know, when he broke that leg, and then he sat out 2 months this summer. And he looked at me and he said, "Coach, I don't know if mentally I can sit out again. I'm playing good. I just want to play. I don't care how many minutes." And he said, "You know, maybe down the road, like DT, talk to DT and maybe a redshirt another year." But I think because he sat out so long, he really wanted to play. And I kind of changed my opinion then. And I said, "You know what? I think that's a good move." So, and who knows right now? I mean, we're still looking for another guy. It's not like he's that far behind anybody. We're going to need some more depth on those guards, and we got to get guys playing better and find out in the next 2 weeks who belongs in that playing group and who doesn't. So he's going to get his chance. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I told the officials if I sit there, I might take one of these on some of those bad calls and whap them in the knees like the mafia guys do, you know, cut your knees off. But it was, you know, it's a little sore right now. I'm going to pay for it tomorrow, but worth every minute of it. Worth every minute. It's actually doing pretty well in general. And, you know, I would say this. I think you brought up a good point. We're never satisfied, but if you look at where we were last year and where we are this year, I think we made some strides. I just think we need to take a couple of major steps here. And when you know who you're playing next, that's why you schedule like we do, because we're going to be able to see if everything I'm saying comes true. If we improve on it, we're going to go there and compete and be a hell of a game. If we don't improve on it, we're going to go there and get our butts kicked, and then it'll be some hell of a practices. So either way, this is still going to be a good time for us. We're going to learn a lot about our team. Kansas has got a lot of veterans on that team, especially their inside guys. And yet we're going to play better inside. We weren't bad. We're going to play better, though, this week. And I'm really looking forward to maybe arguably one of the greatest nights of college basketball when you look at how this has been over the years between Duke and Kentucky and us in Kansas. And that's the kind of places I want. I want to be in those kind of venues. I think that's great for Michigan State. It's great for college basketball, great for the Big Ten. And I'm just proud that we get the privilege of playing in it in the last, this will be the fifth time, and every one have been just as exciting. So we're going to, find a way to meet tomorrow, go over to film, have a little practice, get to the football game, cheer on our Spartans, probably come back. We got the weekend to get a couple things done, because then Monday comes and short practice and you're on the road. And then I don't know what time we play, midnight, 1 o'clock, what are we, 2 o'clock in the morning? When's that game? 10 o'clock. So I definitely know some of you guys will be setting your alarm clocks, and it should be a heck of a night of college basketball, and especially this early in the season. I'm excited right now for it. I really am looking forward to it. Anything else? Thanks a lot, guys.